October 2025, the USS Gravely is cruising beyond the reach of any nation's laws until 3 Venezuelan patrol boats tear toward her at 40 knots, weapons nearly within range. The captain's order: prepare to fight, but don't start one. What nearly triggered war in the Caribbean? At 0517, the captain's voice cut through the tension on the bridge. Set condition 1, weapons tight. All stations stand by for local control. Do not point or train unless directed. The order was crisp, practiced, and left no room for confusion. On the consoles, junior watchstanders flicked switches, checking that missile and gun safeties stayed engaged. Each crew member's eyes locked on their panels, waiting for the next command. The air felt heavy, punctuated only by the low hum of electronics and the steady clack of boots on the deck. No one spoke unless spoken to. The destroyer's Aegis system tracked the incoming contacts, but the captain's instructions were clear: maintain readiness. Avoid provocation. Hands hovered over triggers, but fingers never tightened. On this bridge, discipline meant everything. The line between defense and escalation was razor thin, and every sailor felt it in their chest, pulse racing as the Venezuelan boats closed the distance. 3 contacts appeared on the radar, moving in from the southwest at a steady bearing of 195. The junior radar operators tracked the closure rate, 40 knots, fast enough to cross 3 nautical miles in less than 3 minutes. On their screens, digital overlays projected the closest point of approach, 3,000 yards. That number, 3,000, was called out twice, first by the Surface Watch, then echoed by the Combat Information Center. Every few seconds, the operators recalculated, watching the range tick down in real time. The tactical display drew bright arcs to mark danger zones, each one tightening as the Venezuelan patrol boats closed in. The bridge team compared sensor readouts, checking for sudden changes in course or speed. No erratic turns, just a straight, assertive approach. The operators logged every update, hands damp on the controls, eyes flicking between radar plots and bearing lines. The math left no doubt: if the patrol craft kept pace, the destroyer would face its closest approach in less than 2 minutes. USS Gravely's position was no accident. The destroyer held station more than 12 nautical miles from Venezuela's coast, a distance recognized worldwide as the outer edge of any country's territorial sea. Under the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, warships from any nation have the right to operate, to transit, and to conduct exercises in these international waters. For the Gravely's captain, that legal certainty mattered as much as any radar plot or sensor reading. The bridge team knew their charted position, and every movement was logged with precise coordinates, ready for legal review if challenged. Maritime law specialists, often called JAGs in the Navy, stand ready to advise on these encounters, ensuring that every maneuver, every radio call, fits squarely within international norms. By maintaining course and refusing to yield, the Gravely asserted freedom of navigation not just for itself, but for every navy that relies on open seas. The law provided a shield, but also set clear boundaries for restraint. Rules of engagement governed every decision on the Gravely's bridge. The captain alone held the authority to order the use of force, but only under strict conditions. Under U.S. Navy doctrine, weapons could not be fired unless a hostile act was committed or hostile intent was unmistakable, such as an attack, a weapon being aimed, or a clear move to ram the ship. Approaching at speed or closing distance by itself did not cross that line. Defensive systems could be readied, safeties off, but remained silent unless the threat became explicit and undeniable. Every crew member understood that restraint was not just policy, it was law, backed by international agreements and reinforced by the chain of command. In these moments, the difference between caution and escalation came down to precise definitions and the captain's judgment. The threshold for action was high, and every order was measured against it, second by second. Static crackled on the bridge speakers as a sharp voice cut in, heavy with authority. "United States warship, you are operating in waters under the protection of the Bolivarian Navy. Alter course immediately." The words landed like a challenge, clipped and unmistakable. Every ear on the Gravely's bridge caught the tone. No room for misunderstanding. The officer's accent carried both warning and pride, each syllable measured for effect. Seconds later, Gravely's communications officer pressed the transmit button, his reply steady but tense. "This is a United States Navy warship in international waters, conducting lawful activity, no hostile intent. The exchange hung in the air, the silence that followed sharper than the words themselves. Both sides kept their message tight, neither backing down. Voices stayed formal, but the edge was clear. One misstep, one wrong word, and restraint could snap. At 0541, the Venezuelan patrol boats eased off the throttle, circled once at a distance, then turned away. On the Gravely's bridge, the tension broke in a quiet exhale. No celebration, just a silent acknowledgement that the crisis had passed. Watchstanders logged the time of egress and confirmed on radar that no contacts remained in the danger zone. Within minutes, after-action notes captured the disciplined response and the precise timeline for later review. In Washington, the first reports landed on Pentagon and State Department desks before sunrise. Over the next 48 hours, analysts debated the risks and benefits of visible deterrence versus escalation. Navy leaders stressed the importance of measured signals, arguing against any move that might trigger a cycle of confrontation. The consensus: maintain presence, avoid provocation, and let the logs show restraint. For the crew, the lesson was clear: one close call, handled by the book, could ripple all the way to policy. In the Caribbean, one tense standoff can rewrite tomorrow's headlines. As rival navies shadow each other, the risk isn't just war, it's a single misstep that could spark it.